This field has become a successful story. On average, in a week, we are able to raise over 15,000 kwacha. Right here in the background, we have come up with a concept of 22 circles. So each circle will have onions. So the onions will be blended with the lawns so that we don't spoil the beauty. On top of that, we have fish ponds coming on board. All these things put together will be able to ensure the sustainability. I am Jolly Nalili, the head teacher at Kablonga Boys Secondary School, a school in the capital city, Lusaka in Zambia.
A lot of people say, and I definitely agree, that leadership sometimes is everything. Leadership is a subjective factor in any organisation that can really make a difference.
In 2017, I happened to undergo a training organized by the British Council of Connecting Classrooms. We had a very good package which centered on core skills. Using the core skills together with management, we had to sit around and see how we could actually come up with resources that we could make whatever innovations that we have in school so that they could be sustainable.
Very clearly in the Zambian school context, where many schools lack resources, they may be, especially the more rural ones, they don't necessarily have a lot of things in the classroom, they don't have the equipment, but they do have very talented teachers and have very committed, passionate head teachers as well. So those are the people that can make a difference. So by focusing on the leadership, we believe that we can make a difference to the teaching, the quality of teaching and learning for those kids in the classroom.
The vision for the province is we envisage to see a province with excellent learner outcomes, clean, green and healthy schools without leaving anyone behind. Through the British Council, 22 schools in Lusaka province have twinned with the other schools in the UK. So that has brought about international relations between our schools and the schools in the UK, and there's now close collaboration with the managers in those schools.
So when we went to the ministry, we looked at their strategic plan, and especially at provincial level, so Lusaka province, for example, their statistics showed that they were really, really low at grade 12 level. So what did we do? We moved in to train 2,000 school leaders in all districts in Lusaka province. It's not just a head teacher or deputy head, but also the entire school management.
The training with British Council was quite intriguing. From here, we had a set of 9 of us who went for training. There is one program that we took from British Council that is on leadership, which is very easy to sustain. For leadership, what we've done is that we want to capacity build every other teacher in leadership. These teachers have been divided into 3 groups. These groups form a shadow management, which runs the school for a period of 2 weeks. They will take over the roles of a head teacher, they will take over the roles of a deputy head teacher, the roles of heads of department, they will plan for the school. Our role is just to advise when there is need. It has been very good. It is motivating to the teacher to be given a chance to say you are the head teacher this week. For the next 2 weeks, make decisions for the school. You see that every other teacher feels part and parcel of the school. Very good collaboration.
We have seen an increase in the results in Lusaka province as a direct result of improving the leadership. And this is what we also hear from the Ministry of Education. So I think this is something that really aligns very well with the Ministry of Education's strategy and vision, and it demonstrates the value of where connecting classrooms can make a difference and an impact on children's lives.
The Ministry of Education underwent some reforms in the recent past. One of reforms being the reduction of school fees and replacing it somehow with production units, believing that schools can generate their own resources. And we have quite a number of schools that have gone into production unity with a view to raise a revenue for their schools.
School fees have been now reduced from 1,200 to 200 kwacha, in line with the Ministry of Education policy, where they've promoted the reintroduction of production unity. This fish pond is now ready to be stocked with about 700 fingerlings. The other project that we want to embark on is the peanut butter making project, which is ongoing. We are able to do that within the school grounds because the bottles were bought for sure, but the stickers on the bottles were made by our learners from the ICT department, and the peanut butter is being made by our learners with the help of the Home Economics department. I want to proudly say I've been involved with the British Council Connecting Classrooms since 2013. When we are learning about core skills, we learn that we have to allow our children to be critical thinkers, and we have to allow our children to practice whatever they learn from school. So here we want to prepare them for an after-school skill. These boys and girls, they are the student council. They decided that they could be in the story of production unity by adopting this garden here. They will take care of the plants that will be grown from the garden. Once we have excess, we can still sell and raise our much needed money. So that way, it's like a fundraising venture organized by the student council members.
Before I came to manage this school, there was a complete overhaul. All the 106 teachers who are here, including the head, the entire management was removed, and I was given a task to come and reorganize this school.
Using the skills that he learned from school leadership, he's come up with a project where they're farming tomatoes, and I think they make about 20 boxes a week, which is excellent. And they use that money now to run the school. They won't just rely on government, say, oh, you haven't funded us, we don't have money for chalk, we don't have money for books, we don't have money for what. They are able to use their own resources to run the school. And in that way, the school is mushrooming. It's doing very well academically even.
Everyone is involved. The learners have a role to play. The members of the community have a role to play. And then the teachers. So everyone here has something to do. So we are really grateful because without this program by the British Council of Connecting Classrooms, we could not have come up with these skills. So these skills also are able to empower the community. As a result, we've been able to produce even 20 indirect jobs. So every week there is a hive of activity. Like these women are from the community, because without community involvement, you cannot achieve anything. And then the learners here will also develop a skill. So we've come up with a project that each one of them must be able to plant something at home. They plant something here, and also they plant something at home, so that when they leave the school, they will be able to actually earn a living. So issues to do with sustainability are very paramount at Kablonga Secondary School. Why involve in production unit? The ultimate in resource mobilization is to ensure that in future we're able to give free education to our learners, because the concept of free education, there seems to be a pipe dream, but with our experience now, as a result of undergoing the project by the British Council of connecting classrooms, we are able to mobilize enough resources to even do away with the school fees. Most of our learners come from the communities which are disadvantaged, but they're quite very bright, and most of them make it to the University of Zambia. So once we remove the school fees, which is the only impediment now, then a lot of learners will be able to access that education.